Hi, doctor. Are you currently seeing patients with shoulder pain? What about frozen shoulder? What if I could teach you a neurological treatment system in which you could literally take a person from frozen shoulder to a full range of motion in 2 visits? And this system is so powerful that we guarantee results in 2 visits, or we don't accept the patient for care. Hi, I'm Dr. Andy Barlow. I'm a board certified chiropractic neurologist. I also carry a fellowship in functional neurology, and every Wednesday night at 5 p.m., I'm giving a 1-hour seminar free of charge. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help your community. I'm here to help our profession go to the next level. I personally look forward to seeing you every Wednesday night. I want to completely change your life and change your community's life. And I can help you do that because I've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of doctors from Europe to Canada, all the way to New Zealand with these types of health issues, okay? So I look forward to seeing you Wednesday night at 5 p.m. Central on the webinar. Have a great day. I look forward to seeing you on the internet.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Anthony, as you know, with Edge on Regenerative Medicine Show, where we talk to doctors and focus on seeing how we can help you, whether you're in knee pain, back pain, neck pain, whether it's something within your chest, any type of pain. One of the privileges that I have today is talking with Dr. Derrick Denman. He's out of Lincolnton, North Carolina. He is the owner of LincolnChiropractic.com. And today we're going to be talking about why chiropractors are needed so much right now. As we all know, people are so quick to go to a doctor in a huge facility that's like 20,000 square feet or bigger than that. And most of the time you're sent home with a little bag, just a Band-Aid, just to put a Band-Aid on that pain. The great thing about working with chiropractors around the world, a lot of people don't realize that they just don't just crack backs. That's not what they do. That's part of what they do. And so today I'm excited. I have the privilege to meet with Dr. Derrick Denman. He's going to talk about why chiropractors are needed so much right now. Now, before we get started, everyone, caring is sharing. Think about this. You can share a video. Even if you're not in pain, you can help out a loved one, a friend. And if anyone is out there right now surrounding the Lincolnton, North Carolina, make sure you check out Dr. Derrick Denman at mylincolnchiropractic.com. Again, thank you so much, Dr. Derrick, for being with us.
Hey, Mark, it's a pleasure to be with you just to talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is chiropractic. It's all started for me with a story. I was 16 years old, and when I'd go running, I got pressure and I got distorted vision. And so I just thought maybe I pushed myself too hard and I took a break. And then next time I was running, the same thing happened. This time I was actually downtown driving in a small town, Bryson City, and it just felt weird. So I got back to the house and my mom was going to take me to the eye doctor or the medical doctor. And somebody in the church says, hey, maybe he's got something out in his neck. Take him to a chiropractor. So I went to the chiropractor. He adjusted my neck. It relieved the pressure. That didn't come back. And then he showed me about nutrition and vitamins and how they strengthen the body, and about sugar, how it weakens the body through muscle testing. And I said at 16, this is a neat way of helping people. And I decided right then I was going to be a chiropractor. So I'm 57. That was, what's that, 41 years ago, and that's all I've ever wanted to do.
That's awesome. I love the story. It's funny. I mean, I have a story, but we're here to talk about you, and it's funny how God places us just right at the exact time that we need to be at in order for us to walk into our destiny. And I'm not here to preach and teach whatever everyone believes, but I know for a fact that our steps are directed in certain ways, just like your steps were. Now, my question to you is, why would you say, even, whether we're in a crisis or not a crisis, why would you say that chiropractors are needed so much today and right now at this moment, whether we're in a crisis or not?
Well, it's the difference between treating a symptom and trying to find the root cause. And so whether you're trying to get an antibiotic for a present day crisis, or you're having pain and you're covering it up, whether it's a painkiller, muscle relaxer, whatever, but chiropractors ask the questions, what's the cause? And so when there's pain in the body, there's pressure on a nerve. And right over here behind me is where it shows all the nerves, and then here's the organs. And so let's just take one that people come in with all the time, which is sciatica.
Right.
So you got low back running down the leg. And how long has this been going on? Oh, I've been dealing with it for the last 3 months. And I went to the doctor, got pain pills. I did some physical therapy. That made it worse. And then they finally come to the chiropractor. And then I find that there's something out of place in their back causing the pressure down the nerve. And if it's left that way, and some people put up with these problems for years, it can affect your organs. So female organs for female, it can be your bladder, your colon, the prostate, everything in your body. Think of it this way. Your brain, your spinal cord, and your nervous system control every cell, organ, and tissue in the body. It's kind of like the wiring harness on your car, or I like to say in your garage is a gray fuse box. And you got the fuses to the attic and to the kitchen and to the living room and the bedrooms and the basement. And all those fuses are your nerves that come out your back. And if one of those fuses is flipped in the kitchen because you had a bunch of appliances on and things, you don't go buy new appliances. You don't rewire the house. You go into the garage and you go click, click, and everything's back. Well, that's what chiropractic does. It finds the bone out of place with pressure on the nerve called a subluxation. Now, some people, you mentioned earlier, crack backs, I joke with people. I say crack is a drug and pop is a soda. We don't do either. What we do is we adjust and we fine tune your spine so that your whole nervous system functions optimally. And we call it optimum health. So whether it's a virus coming or you're out running, if there's something out of place, it's going to put pressure on your nerve. If there's something out of place in your neck, it's most especially the first vertebrae because it's right under your brain stem, that can affect, I think that's what affected me with my distorted vision, but it can be dizziness, it can be feeling tired, fatigued, feeling, people say run down. I just feel tired, I'm run down. Well, when you go to the chiropractor, it's like getting a tune-up on your car, changing the oil, make sure all the wires and all the fuses and everything's working good, and your body is just going to work better. So sometimes people call the office and they go, well, I can't come in today, I'm feeling sick. Well, I turn that around. I say that's exactly the time you need to come in, because they've shown studies, blood tests, and showed that after an adjustment of the spine, it stimulates your white blood cells and your immune system. So what I say to people is, I got to get in. I'm feeling sick, so they got to get here when they're feeling sick. Now, with some of the things that are going on right now with the coronavirus, or whether it's H1N1 or it's just the yearly flu, okay? Getting your spine adjusted is not just for headaches, car accidents, and back pain. It actually makes you run better. It gives your body energy. It gets your body tuned up so that your immune system has a better chance of fighting off all these bugs. We're not trying to fight a bug. We're trying to build up your immune system so that you have the strength to do what God made your body to do, which is fight these things off. I say to people, listen, there's 23 kids in a classroom and 4 are out sick. Well, what about the other 19? Well, their immune system was good enough, strong enough to fight. They were exposed to the same virus, or flu, we'll say, okay? But they didn't get sick because maybe they weren't eating as much junk food and sugar, and maybe they're drinking more water, and their body at that time was healthier. So It's really about staying healthy, staying well, and to add to that, you're drinking your green drink for nutrition. You're getting a lot of vitamins and minerals. We have supplements, nutrition, one called Conjuplex for congestion, virus, cold, flu, immune deficiency, all infections. So if you're taking that on top of getting adjusted, a number of years ago, I had a family was going up north to visit family at Thanksgiving. And they were a little worried because the flu was going around.
Right.
And they went up there and the whole family took the Conjuplex while they were going up there and while they were there. Everybody in their whole family had the flu, and none of my patients got sick because they were well adjusted and they were taking nutrition that's specifically built to strengthen the immune system called Conjuplex, and they came out unscathed. And so that's what I want to talk to you about. There is specific nutrition. Now, I'm not talking from Walmart or Costco. I'm talking about high quality nutrition, standard process and MediHerb, some of the best supplements in the world. That's what I use to help aid people, whether it's sinus and allergy season, which is coming up right now, or it's in the fall where everybody gets colds and things. The idea of chiropractic, most people come in for pain, and I understand that. And the first thing we want to do is get them out of pain, get them what they want. But then we want to try to go on to correct the problem, stabilize the problem, and then we do something called maintenance. Whether it's a monthly haircut or changing your oil or cleaning your house or cutting your grass, we do maintenance on a lot of things. But I always joke that the spine is like Rodney Dangerfield, and that ages me a little bit. It gets no respect. As long as it doesn't hurt, people forget about it completely until the next time they have a pain. So, but if you think about your brain and your nervous system and all your nerves that control everything in the body, every cell, organ, and tissue, you want that running like a top. You want it running, and it gives you the best chance to not get disease, to not get pain, to not get sick. When everybody else around you is sick, you're not getting sick. I have patients that have been coming to me for over 25 years, and they say, you know what? I just don't get sick anymore. It's chiropractic. But most people don't understand that chiropractic is more than just the pain relief. It's about your health, and it's about your lifestyle.
Can anybody purchase that product on your website, or?
No, I don't. You can contact a local chiropractor. You can't buy it in the stores. It has to be either through a nutrition or a doctor. Sometimes they're not supposed to, but some people are selling it online. But Conjuplex is one of my products. The herb echinacea. They have a product called Sinus Forte. It's one of my 5 miracle supplements for sinus and allergies. Literally, I've had people call me up on the way home driving because I have them take one at the office. They go, could it work that fast? And I said, yes. And so we get people off of, I won't name any names, but the drugs for sinus and allergies and hay fever and, nose squirt, Flonase, whatever. We help them. And here's the thing. We're not given a drug for a symptom. Most drugs, I understand there's some drugs that are necessary for people's lives. I'm not against drugs. I am against blindfolding yourself, and it's like putting tape, electrical tape over your red light that says you're low on oil, and you keep driving. You're not addressing the problem. The light, I tell people, and they look at me like I got a third eyeball. I said, pain's good. I said, pain tells you there's a problem. It's like a fire alarm. If you didn't have the pain, you wouldn't be here and you wouldn't be addressing the problem. Pain is a signal to point to where the real problem is, which could be up here for headaches. It could be the lower neck that's going down your arm's numb or weak. That does go to your heart and lungs. So with the flu or the present day coronavirus, which it attacks the lungs, we can strengthen the nerves that go to your lungs. We have special lung supplements. And then what's different about me, 99% of the chiropractors do not have the therapies that I have, these alternative therapies that go way beyond, chiropractic, you got to get the pressure off the nerve.
Right.
But there's other therapies that I have that actually can help heal, strengthen, decrease pain, decrease inflammation, and help the body at a higher level than just regular type therapy you'd get people ask me, is that like a TENS unit? No, a TENS unit's a little $50 thing that I sell, and I don't like them. They're nerve disruptors, but they're not healers. If it keeps you from taking too many opioid drugs, painkillers, fine, get one. But we're talking about taking you up a level, taking your health and your decrease pain, inflammation, and stimulate healing.
Wow. So let's go a little bit deeper in that. We're kind of brought up viruses and stuff like that. Are there any services that you offer that you would recommend right now that that could possibly help that?
Absolutely. The 2 herbs I mentioned. Number 1, get your spine checked. Make sure you're tuned up so you're running at top notch. Number 2, the Conjuplex and the Echinacea. They can come in. Now I have to sit down with you. It's not a health food store. You can't just come in and
right.
I have to be responsible. You come in, I sit down, talk to you. It's a free consultation. Come in and talk to me. But you can get Echinacea and Conjuplex, and I will guarantee that you will do better. Now, some people, Mark, say, well, I tried Echinacea and it didn't work. And I said, well, let me tell you about that. You got it at Walmart or wherever. Nothing against Walmart, or CVS or whatever.
Not equal.
Yeah, our MediHerb company, we knew it was one of the best. And finally, a few years ago, they did a study with 13 brands. And they took one tablet and they analyzed the active ingredients in one of our tablets. And they compared it to 13 brands. Second place took 8 tablets to equal one of ours.
Wow.
13th place took like 134. So it was 2 bottles of 60. So the key is getting the quality. And our Echinacea is called Echinacea Premium. And the way I explain it is it's called purple cone flower. And that's where the active ingredients are. In America, you could cut up the leaf or the stem and still call it Echinacea, even though it doesn't have the active ingredients. But, 1 tablet equals 8. And so our premium says 6-to-1. So if you ate the herb right off the plant, perfect. That's 1-to-1. The way they extract the ingredients out, it's literally 6-to-1.
Wow.
So you can't buy it in the store at this high of quality. And that's the key. Literally, you could take it and feel a difference the next morning. And then if you just take 1 or 2 a day through the winter or through flu season, or right now with the coronavirus, you have supercharged your immune system and you're warding off potential problems. It doesn't mean you're not going to get sick because there's other factors, but what it does mean is you're going to have a better opportunity with the chiropractic and the supplements to ward it off. So you're decreasing your chances of getting sick, and you're increasing your chances of going through this problem unscathed, or every year with the flu season.
Well, that's pretty awesome. I noticed that you have I've seen your practice, and I've noticed that you have PEMF therapy. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. PEMF stands for pulsed electromagnetic field. I think it's one of the greatest therapies in the world. It goes back it goes back to Nikola Tesla. It used to be in every hospital. I have a booklet on it that shows a radius fracture that healed in 9 days instead of 9 weeks.
Wow.
Okay, it's been certified by the FDA to heal for bone fractures and for cervical fusion. So the FDA knows about it. Every astronaut comes back from outer space because of the loss of bone and muscle. They get PEMF. And the one I have out of Atlanta is the number 1, the only high voltage solid state PEMF in the world. It's the best of the best. There's some other stuff on the internet, whatever. It looks like it was made in a garage. This is top notch. This is like a Mercedes, okay? So I have a little visual that kind of helps it. So your body is like, you have 75 trillion cells, and each one of them is like a battery. Mm-hmm. And it says here, normal, healthy adults, they operate at 20 to 25 millivolts. And little kids and teenagers, they operate 30 to 40. That's why they run around and seem to have so much energy. But at the top there, it says healing occurs by making new cells. You need 50 millivolts. So where does the body get the energy? Water, meat, vegetables, nutrition, okay? Mm-hmm. Not Twinkies and not donuts, okay? So they actually pull you down. So what happens to people is when you drop below 20, you get tired and you get in pain, you get sick in pain, and then down here you can't outfunction. And then below here in the red zone, it's the big C word, which I won't mention online, but it's something that you don't want. So what PMF does, like a drained battery or your cell phone, it's run too low, you can't make a call, or you left the lights on your car, the light comes on, but you can't start it, not enough juice. PMF energizes and increases your cell energy, so it's not hyped up like some energy drink. You literally are getting cellular energy, and then we call it cellular exercise. Wow. So you have 75 trillion cells. So if it's back problems, we put you in a chair and we put a special one on the low back. If it's neuropathy problems, we put it on the feet. After 32 years of being a chiropractor and doing all the motions, my shoulders are tore up somewhat, so I get it on my shoulders, and I actually take it home every weekend and I do it to myself. But so PMF, I don't care what you have. You mentioned lung or chest. We have people that have bronchitis for 3 months and they put the PMF on their chest, and literally the next day they come back and say, I didn't cough all night, maybe a couple times, and normally I'm coughing all night. It literally did it after they've been suffering for 3 months on the first treatment. So that's the PEMF. You can put it on any pain or any problem or any organ, and it'll help the body heal.
You know, to concur on that, it's funny that you say that. I was actually at Dr. Barlow's and a friend of ours, and I had really bad pain here in my upper back. And he told me to sit down on the chair. No joke, within 3 minutes. Yeah. Come on. I was like, what the heck? I mean, it's amazing.
Well, it's amazing. And here's what it is. The body, muscles contract through a magnetic electricity. And I have an older patient that's been with me for 29 years. And she's got a kind of a rounded back, and she has this deep problem, and we used to have massage therapists here, and she's gotten 100 massages over the years, right? But when I got the PMF here, I said, Minnie, M-I-N-N-I-E, I said, why don't you sit down here and try this? Right. So we sat her in the chair, and she says it got deeper than any massage therapist could. She was amazed at how much relief she got, because it's electrical, and it's going to go all the way through you, and it's going to help those deep, deep muscles. So we get people with muscle spasms. I had a lady who had hip pain for 7 years. First time I put it over her hip pain was gone. Yeah. One time. Now, is that typical? No, but it did happen, and it happened to one of my patients. And most of the time, people are like, I don't know about this new technology, blah, blah, blah. And I say, here, do it today for free. Just try it. And 99% of the time, I let them just try it free the first time, and they just can't believe it. So if you have a therapy that can take your 5, 10, 15, 20-year-old problem and make a change the first day, and we're not covering up with drugs, it actually made a cellular change. Wow. That is amazing, and that's why I take it home every weekend. If you go online, there's a million videos on PEMF on how it can help. But the one out of Atlanta called Pulse Centers is the best PEMF you can get anywhere, and we have their top one called XL Pro. And I want to let everyone know out there, you could try to find a shortcut and find a cheaper way. I've been there, done that. I test these. Matter of fact, I buy a lot of these machines, and I will tell you that there are a lot of, I call them fakes out there. But when you try the real thing, it's like the difference between Nike Air shoe and a Pro Wing shoe from Payless. That's showing my age. So, there's a major difference. Now, what about oxygen therapy? What do you think about? I'm glad you brought that up. I just want to know, if I read this list for you or anybody on the internet, tell me which one of these you don't want. The importance of oxygen therapy: heightened concentration, faster thinking, sharper eyesight, more retentive memory, stronger heart, calm and stable nervous system, faster recovery from physical exertion, natural remedy for headaches and hangovers, reduced muscle stiffness, resistance against chronic fatigue, stable and regular sleep patterns, increased energy, the ability to maintain healthy cholesterol, enhance brain function, overcome fatigue, and look and feel younger.
Wait, is this the oxygen?
This is just oxygen.
So, wow. So, okay. I
So
want
let-
all of that. I want
so
all
let-
of that. So
Yeah,
if I
all
were
of
to
it.
come to
That's
your-
what everybody says. I want all of it.
So if I
I
were to
just
come
have
to
a
your
line
office,
from here to the street, people coming in just for oxygen.
wow.
Now, to talk about present day with the coronavirus, it attacks your lungs. It's a respiratory problem. I had a 94-year-old come in here. He came in for neuropathy, but he came in for a test drive and he tried the oxygen. His oxygen, he checks it like 10 times a day on his finger with an oxygen monitor. And it was running low, like in the low 90s, 92, 93, 91, 89. And he got on the oxygen and he did it one time. And he came back the next week and said, my oxygen was up to 96, 97 for 3 days because of your one treatment on oxygen. So if somebody had lung trouble, if somebody has a compromised system, if somebody's older and they're worried about what's going on currently, if they did the oxygen and the PEMF to strengthen their body, they would feel a difference almost immediately. But here's the deal. It's gonna strengthen their system and decrease their chance of having a weakness. It's kind of help counteract some of the weakness so that they can not be susceptible to the current virus.
So, okay, so.
And since I added oxygen, all my results have doubled. When I'm treating people with neuropathy, I always say, since I added oxygen, my results have doubled and tripled. And what used to take 2 or 3 weeks for people to feel a difference, they're feeling it in 2 or 3 visits.
So how many visits would you recommend just so we can stay at that optimal level? 3 visits a month, 2 visits? What do you recommend?
Well, what I'd recommend if somebody's having a problem is maybe do it twice a week until they feel great. And then maybe, 2 or 3 visits a month just to keep it, even if they just, keep it level. Once a week, every other week, or even once a month would be better than nothing. And it just, to be honest with you, they'll feel the difference and their body will talk to them. It's like, man, I got to get in. I'm starting to feel weak again. And
wow.
but coming on in and trying the therapies, let me give you a tour of the office and the other therapies. One of the other therapies I have from Germany, and this is the best electrical therapy in the world. It actually has a special patent on it. If you've ever been to a chiropractor, there's a therapy that we've used for 50 years, not me, but chiropractors use since 50 years, whatever, from last year. 1969, I don't know, I got a blank there for a second.
Good one. Yeah,
all right, so 1969, he invented interferential. And this is a scientist called Dr. Hans Jurgens. He invented interferential, and chiropractors have been using it from 69 to 2019, and now we're in 2020. Well, after that, he's worked 50 years on the Hakamed. The Hakamed is called horizontal therapy. A TENS unit's a very low frequency, and you feel it more. Actually, you feel it more. And then it's below 1,000, and then interferential operates on 3,100 and 3,000 cross. But the Hakamed goes from 4,000 to 20,000. And so it's like the difference in your house between 220 and 120. It's more powerful, but you feel it less because it's going so fast that you don't feel it, and we have to limit it. We never go over 24 because it's powerful enough that it could burn you. Okay, so but of course we would never let that happen. But here's the deal. When you get above 4,000, you get the healing frequencies. Okay. And they have a study that shows that 84% of the people get nerve regeneration. That's what I want to talk to you about. Wow. It actually has been shown to turn around nerves that are going downhill, deteriorating, and stimulating them, number one, but regenerating them, number two. And that's why I have it in the office. Now, let me give you a perspective. A TENS unit I sell for $50. The interferential, that unit cost about $2,500, and the Hakamed's $25,000. So tenfold. There's, it's like a Lamborghini versus a Vega or a Pinto or whatever. There's no way, no other therapy. And so it helps heal the nerves. Okay. So I have another visual where a healthy nerve, okay,
Right.
has a thick nerve and good blood supply, and then beginning neuropathy, it's a thinner blood supply and you got a little nicks in the nerve. And then down here, you got gaps in the nerves. That's where people are really having balance problems and numbness, tingling, and burning. And then down here, it's just a dead nerve. It's too late. And so what we try to do is get people, I ask people, it's a dumb question, whether it's heart disease, diabetes, or cancer, would you rather catch somebody in the disease in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, or 4?
Right.
Well, of course, the earlier the better, right? So whether it's neuropathy or pain, ignoring it or 5 dangerous words, maybe it'll go away, is not an option. The idea is if you have a problem and your body's telling you, you want to get it checked, and you want to get it checked thoroughly. So we do a free consultation. We do an examination. We do x-rays if necessary. If you have x-rays, you can bring them. And then we do a treatment. And I lay out a plan on what I think that it's going to take to help you. And that just depends on your body and how long it's been there and how much damage you have. But just like a current symptom, I woke up with a crick on my neck, or I was laying out some fertilizer last week and I hurt my back. Most people feel a difference the first day they get a treatment. So
Wow.
It's not something you're going to be going for a week or 10 weeks or whatever before you feel a difference. You're going to feel a difference with chiropractic almost immediately. There's no other office you can walk in feeling one way and walk out feeling another way. And it's like, oh my gosh, why did I wait 3 months? Why did I suffer? And I call it suffering needlessly. If you got a problem, get it checked out.
I just received a text on my phone, and people are asking, what do you have for, like, say, your back? So there's like a lot of pain and pressure on your back. Do you have anything that you use in your office, maybe for back?
I have a device called Back on Track. Now, you've heard of decompression, and decompression's been around for a long time, and it's saved many people from back surgery. But our Back on Track, and I don't have the model here to show you, but basically it decompresses the spine, takes the pressure off. So I had a gentleman just recently, he's in his 80s, and his back, literally, he's driving on 4 flat tires. It's like he's driving on the rims.
Right.
It's bone on bone on bone on bone. So he's Medicare, of course, and he wanted us to do what chiropractic Medicare pays for. So we did chiropractic, and we helped him to a degree, but he still wasn't getting the results we wanted. And so, and he wasn't sleeping. So I had him try the PEMF, and I gave him a free trial on that. And he couldn't believe it. He said, man, I slept all night last night. It was awesome. But some of the pain returned because why? Because it's bone on bone. So I said, hey, why don't you go to the back? Let's try the Back on Track. And you can look that up. It's a decompression. But here's the difference with Back on Track. It not only decompresses, but it goes out and it tilts one way and then the other way. And so it literally, when you have lateral bending and you tilt one way, it opens that way up. And then you go the other way. Now, if somebody had right sciatica, then we would go to the left. We would not go to the right. And so what it's doing is taking pressure off. Right. And that was the key for him. We did the PMF and the laser, and then we switched to the PMF and the Back on Track. And that was the combination that helped on him. And, he's bone on bone. He's 4 flat tires. He's not getting his tires back. So we got to figure out if it's once a month or once a week, what it's going to take. But we gave him his life back. And that's what I talk to people about. I say, people say, well, what's it cost? I said, your mobility, your freedom, your peace of mind, and your joy. It's your life. If you value your life and your life is going down or you're compromised, you can't do the things you love to do, then we have the therapies that can help it. And we can change your life. And so I talk more about playing with your grandkids or getting out and picking sticks up in the grass or going out to dinner with your wife or to the movies or whatever it is, dancing. One of the elderly people, senior citizens said, you know, I want to get back to dancing. Okay, well, that's their thing. Your thing may be different. Everybody's why is different. But I tell people, you got to have a why. Like, why do you want to get better other than just feeling better? And so we talk more about activities and your life. I mean, for some of my patients, it's getting from the bedroom to the bathroom or the kitchen without problems, you know, without, you know, pain or without balance issues or whatever. So we talk more about life and movement and lifestyle. We have the therapies that can help it. One of the other therapies I have is called it's called cutting edge MLS M6 robotic laser. Okay, now the patent came from Italy, but it's made in the USA. And instead of like cold laser, which is 5 milliwatts, this is 500 milliwatts. Now it's a class 4 laser, like a surgical laser, but it doesn't burn or cut or do it's a healing cold present, but it hits the nociceptor where the pain is, and it does the same thing as a painkiller without the side effects.
Wow.
And so the 905 frequency decreases pain and the 808 frequency decreases inflammation. But the guy with the patent in Italy found out how to synchronize them. And together they hit, if you remember your 5th grade biology, you have the cell and you have the little round thing called the nucleus, which is the brain of the cell. And then there's a long thing called the mitochondria. And that kicks out ATP and cellular energy. And when you kick out ATP, it tells the brain, hey, listen, heal down here. And so it hits the cells and tells the cells, even if it's an old 10-year-old problem, it tells the cells to start healing at the same time as decreasing pain and inflammation. And so we have, and that unit is like $65,000. It's one of my most expensive pieces of equipment here. But it's, if you go on my website, mylincolnchiropractic.com, I had a lady with sciatica for 4 years. Tried dry needling, acupuncture, chiropractic, physical therapy, pain pills. She tried everything. And on the video online, I think it was her 3rd treatment, she was down from a 10 to a 1 after 3 treatments on the laser. Nothing else could do it. Nothing else has the ability to do it. It's just an amazing therapy.
Well, she could have went to another doctor and got the little white bag with some pills, right?
Well, she did do that. She tried everything.
Oh. Okay.
And pills, they're not helping the problem. I joke with people. I said, I can't throw that pill hard enough to adjust your back. I said, it's not fixing the problem. It's covering it up. And let me show you, see if you can see this. See this here?
Yeah, we see that very well.
There you go. All right. So here somebody comes in pain, and they have misalignment. Let me tilt it. There you go. Okay. So they're in the red zone, and they have pain. They want relief, and they want to get over this pain line, I call it. And if the bone's just 1 millimeter off the nerve, barely off the nerve, you're going to feel better. But if you feel better and quit there, it's hard to do this backwards. You're going to dip down. And I joke with people. I said, you want to be a dip? And everybody laughs, said, no, I don't want to be a dip. And so you want to jump over that problem of just coming to the chiropractor to get a little relief. Because if you haven't corrected it, it's going to come back again and again and again until you fix it. So we want to correct it. Now, this like braces on teeth, but it doesn't take 3 years. I do that for about a month, okay? Month, 6 weeks, whatever you need. And then the next line you want to cross is the healing line. Now, up here, you're feeling great, okay?
Right.
Great, but you still want to stabilize and strengthen it. So take off the braces and wear a retainer. Take off the cast and do some strengthening. And so really chiropractic is about pain relief, correction, healing, stabilization, and then the last is maintenance. You can't get to maintenance until you've taken care of the problem. So that little diagram thing helps. A picture's worth 1,000 words. I mean, I could talk to somebody till I'm blue in the face, but when they see that and I say, you don't want to be a dip, they're like, yeah, that makes sense. I don't want to go back to where you help me feel better. I don't want to go back and just only come in when I have a flat tire, so to speak.
You know, everything you're saying, I love it. You touched on a little bit of everything from PMF therapy, from oxygen, Hockamid, back on track, and also laser. And the one that got me real excited was the oxygen, because I can see how important that is, not just for right now, but always, because the oxygen keeps our levels up, keeps our blood flow.
Yeah, they have oxygen places or where you can go get oxygen. It used to be. The difference is what I have there with the oxygen concentrator in the big 900-liter thing where it's stored is you're not getting oxygen like the nasal cannulus or you have a little bottle of oxygen. This is not 7%. It's 30 to 90% over a period of time of 15 minutes. And if you've ever heard of one of the things that they said is, what is it where you go in? I just can't believe I can't think of it now, but you go in the oxygen chamber. What's it called? Oh, yeah. What's it called?
It freezes you.
No. When you go in the oxygen chamber and you sit in there and you get oxygen, what's that therapy called?
Wow.
As soon as we say it, you'll say, of course.
And we get off. People like, oh yeah.
Anyway, there's a thing where you can get in a tube and get oxygen. Well, this is like in 15 minutes, it's like 6 to 10 hours of sitting in a hyperbaric chamber. That's it. Hyperbaric. So hyperbaric chamber. And so literally people feel better. And I explain it like if you're a farmer and you have tomato plants and you got a soaker hose. The last plant gets the least water and it's shorter and not as big as the first one, and the tomatoes are smaller. Well, that's like your toes or your fingers. And so when people come in here with neuropathy, it starts in your toes. So we got to get the oxygen all the way down the line to your toes. I call it a tidal wave to a desert. We got to get the oxygen all the way down. Then we're stimulating the nerves down there. And then we're doing laser on the nerves. So we're through the feet, and it penetrates that far. So it's going all the way through. A lot of times we start out on the back because the nerves, a lot of people's neuropathy and pain and chronic pain is because basically their discs are narrowed and they have pressure, and they go, well, it's my leg, doc, it's my leg. I said, no, it's not. It's where it comes out your back. So we do the laser on their back. It penetrates all the way down where they really need it. And lo and behold, their leg feels better because we dealt with the source of where the pressure is. And that's, once people get it, you're either you got it or you don't with chiropractic. And once people get it, they come in once a month or twice a month, or we even have some people come once a week because they like to feel great. They don't get sick as much. They have more energy. They feel better. And then you have people for 32 years, I've been a chiropractor. They're just going to come in when they hurt and they're going to call back, and that's fine. I don't make them feel bad about it. I'm here always for you but eventually sometimes they're like, yep, here it goes again. Sorry, doc. And then they go, this time I'm going to stay. And so I always love it when someone gets it.
And it's funny you're using the word gets it. And, I'm 43, and I remember even when I was in my early 30s and 20s, I didn't really see why I needed to go to a chiropractor. And I'm starting to realize, and I do it now. I visit a chiropractor about 3 times a month right now for adjustments because it helps me with my headaches.
There you go.
And I'm learning that people need to catch it, that you're an investment. This is an investment.
That's right. And I use that.
Family is an investment. When we start looking at our lives and our family as an investment, money means nothing, because think about it. When you go out to eat, you go out with your friends, nobody ever complains about the $100 bill.
No, and my wife used to have a poster. She's a naturopath. She used to have a thing in the bathroom that people, when they were in there, they'd read. It's like you get your nails, you get your extensions, your pedicure, your manicure, whatever it is for you, a new blouse or whatever. But it's you've got to value the investment in you. And let me tell you, when you don't do it for 40 years and all of a sudden these things start coming up and you think, I got older and now I'm getting sick. It's no, you haven't taken care of your car for 40 years. I tell people, I said, just pretend you're 16 and your dad gives you if you like Mustangs, a fastback Mustang, 67, fastback. I mean, awesome. Here's the catch, Mark. You can never trade it or buy another car the rest of your life. This is the only car you're allowed to drive for your whole life. How are you going to take care of it?
It's my baby.
It's going to be your baby. And I tell people that is your body. It's $1 million body, and you don't get a new one. They don't have any brain or spinal transplants. And it controls every cell. And so whether it's, oh, I got stomach trouble. I've always had stomach trouble. My mom had stomach trouble. Well, let's change that. Let's make sure the mid-back right here, right between your shoulder blades where people are on the computer, sitting and slouching, right between your back, that goes to your pancreas, stomach, and gallbladder, your digestion. And so nobody ever says, well, I'm having stomach trouble. I need to go see the chiropractor. They go, first they try Tums or Rolaids, then it's Nexium and Prilosec, whatever. It's not, or reflux. They're not, then they're going to block the acid in their stomach. And I said, let me ask you a stupid question. I said, why did God design acid for your stomach? And they think a minute. They go, well, to digest the food. I said, exactly. So if you're neutralizing it or you're stopping the H pump, the hydrogen pump, when you're stopping, I said, how are you digesting your food? They're like, huh? I said, you're not. And you fast forward 20, 30 years and you end up with diverticulitis and colon cancer because you have toxins and you have bacteria in your stomach that are not supposed to be there. And when your stomach acid is high, 1.0, it kills them. And when it's low, you allow microbes to grow in your body that aren't supposed to be there. So they look at me crazy when I say, you need to take hydrochloric acid. Well, I thought the doctor told me I had too much acid. I said, no, you don't have enough. That's why you're getting regurgitation and you're not getting digestion. Or something simple as just enzymes. And so I say, well, if you put an apple outside, it'll rot, right? Because it has enzymes. But when you cook an apple in apple pie, the heat has killed the enzymes. When we cook our food, if we ate raw food, which you eat some raw, but most people don't eat raw food, you wouldn't need enzymes because the body, the vegetable or the fruit has natural enzymes. And so sometimes taking enzymes, there's some people believe that enzymes are life, and when you run out of enzymes, your life gets compromised. So enzymes are important. Acid is important, not acid from other problems, whether it's a byproduct of other processed foods, but I'm talking good, healthy, your body's acid. And so we aid digestion instead of compromising digestion through supplements, and of course, making sure your stomach's working.
Wow, you and I you're talking on a good topic of mine about, not cooking your foods because of the enzymes, which a lot of people don't understand. And that's why I love my wife, she always juices for me. She takes care of my body.
Juice is good. Have you ever heard of, I haven't been a big fan of it, but if you're really into it, you ever heard of fermented food?
Yes.
And that takes it to another level. And I went to a chiropractic seminar on that, and they were talking about nutrition and fermented food and sauerkraut or different things that are fermented. And it takes a certain taste to get used to. But it is very, very healthy. That's another level for the average person.
I'm only remembering it because my wife tried to get me on that. She does it, and I'm like, my stomach just I can't do it. I know it's good for me though.
And what does it do to you?
To be honest with you, I don't really notice the difference because it just gives, for me, I have a weak stomach, so it's hard for me to dissolve it. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
So.
Well, one of my 5 miracle supplements by the same company called MediHerb is called High Pep. Okay. And actually they're back ordered it until May now or June. It's crazy. I don't know. They must have had a bad crop of herbs, or that's from Australia. Maybe it got burned up in the fire, and that's why they're back ordered. But it literally helps from gastritis to reflux to ulcers to stomach pain. The list is this long, but it's a healer. It's not just something that helps you feel better when you overeat or when something feels funny. It literally helps, and it's literally when I get it in, I'm gonna send you a bottle because I'm telling you, it will help. And then I do acupuncture also. And since 1987, before I even graduated, I got trained by Dr. Sunderledge in St. Louis. And there's a simple 10-point, 5 on each side, acupuncture balancing pattern using master points that balances your body and balances your digestion. So large intestine 4, triple warmer 5, lung 7, stomach 36, and spleen 6 on the leg. And then I do the reflux Heidel hernia maneuver where I pull the stomach down. And then I show you on your sternum, which is your diaphragm reflex, like on this muscle. If you're working on this muscle, you can work on it, but you can't work on your diaphragm. So there's something called a neurolymphatic reflex. It's on your sternum, and you just rub until it feels bruised, which usually is right here.
Right.
And I have people do that every time before they eat. If you try rubbing that before you eat and maybe drag the skin up and blow out and push in and push down, and what you're doing is help dragging that stomach down for people with reflux. And then I do the acupuncture pattern, and that is like night and day. I've had people that couldn't drink orange juice for 15 years be able to drink orange juice. And the key is it's not treating a symptom. It's balancing your body. Think of acupuncture. People confuse it with nerves, but it's flow of energy. And if you think of a dam and a waterfall, so you get blockages in the energy, and then you have a deficit on the other side of it.
Right.
And so what this does is it knocks out all the dams and balances it so the energy through your meridian system flows. And so it helps people with energy, or it helps women with PMS, or it helps you with digestion is mainly the reason I do it. And it's so simple, but it's powerful because it uses master points and it's balancing the body and just helps the body work better. But most of the people that come in to get it have digestive issues, which is about 1/3 of America.
Wow. Everyone, and Dr. Denman, I just want to say thank you. You and I can go on and on because there's a lot to talk about. We talked on PMF therapy, oxygen, Hakamed, I believe, back on track, laser. What was the last one we talked on? Was the last one we just decompression, also the stomach. And here's the good news, everyone. Right after this, after we're done here, we're going to have live testimonials of actual people that Dr. Denman has helped change their lives forever. And just like Dr. Denman said, he said, you don't want to wait for something to happen in order to come to the chiropractor. So my suggestion, everyone, go check out mylincolnchiropractic.com and give Dr. Denman a call. His phone number is on the screen. His website's right there. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call. And everyone, remember, sharing is caring. Make sure you share this on your social media, and let's focus on helping people, especially in a time like this. And when I say a time like this, it's not because we're going through something. That's going to always happen. But our body needs us to take care of it because we have a family that we need to be spending time with. And not just that, you want to live, you have one life in this world. Let's live it to the fullest. And everyone, again, thank you so much for sharing. And Dr. Denman, thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to having you on again.
Thank you, Mark. It was a great time, and we had a great discussion. And anytime, I'm here to help. And what I want people to know is some people have been to a chiropractor, and I didn't talk about, I've done the traditional method since 1988, since I graduated. But I also have something here called the Pro Adjuster or Sigma instrument that is kind of like, don't take this word wrong, but it's like an impact wrench for the spine. It taps it into place. So there's some people that for whatever reason, they've seen too many Kung Fu movies or whatever, or their brother's uncle's grandmother went to a chiropractor and had a less than stellar experience. It allows you to treat people that are either too sore, too big, too small, too old, or they just don't like the manual type method. I can tap it into place through repetitive taps, and I don't even have a trigger to the machine. It's hooked to a computer. So it shuts off automatically when it gets the bone moved. And so I've had people, I mean, they're not scared of anything. They're a big, strong guy, but their back is so tight and so much spasm, and so the muscles are so tight, I couldn't get them to go if I, was King Kong. And so the Pro Adjuster can help get people moving.
Wow.
And help those that have a little more apprehension with chiropractic. And so 99% of the chiropractors don't have the therapies that I have, nor do they have the Pro Adjuster or Sigma instrument. So if you've tried chiropractic, come meet me, just a free consultation, shake my hand. I'll show you what we got to help you. If you tried it in the past and maybe didn't work out as good as you would like, give it another chance. I think we can make a difference. And so, our motto is, if you're in pain, we want to help. And our other motto is, better health is just around the corner. So we're just around the corner.
Sounds great. Remember, I know that something you just said right now was, if you've had a bad experience, not all chiropractors are created equal. Just like not all pizza shops are created equal. So I'm not trying to compare pizza to a chiropractor, but I'm saying is there are a lot of great chiropractors out there, and Dr. Denman's one of them. And thank you so much for being on our show.
Amen. Thank you. Appreciate you. God bless.